All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all praises, all glory and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders, the men of GMS that surely do rule well, pushing this doctrine in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the 144,000 elect out there. Shalom to the Akim out there by the highways and the byways, pushing the street in sincerity. Also to the Aquat sitting and learning in silence. We say shalom.
Shalom.
Right, just a couple brothers here. Brother Kawalwa.
Brother Isaiah. Brother Mashallah. Brother Hananiah.
Yeah, we just come here to bring out a couple precepts, just for the edification of the Asharala. And what the topic of this lesson going to be, Akim?
Freewill.
I'm touching on free will here today. So we're touching on free will because by misconception, I'd like to say, of Christianity, they believe that free will exists, right? That everybody choose to do what they want. God make everybody, and He give them free will to do this or to do that, and He go judge you based on your free will. However, the scriptures doesn't show that. The truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and I think one of the Akim was pointing out that we should bring out one of the precepts is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7, but it ties in here. It ties in right here in the introduction to what we're looking to teach it, because the Amos chapter 3 and verse 7, it says, let's go to it quickly. All right, the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 7, which says, anybody want to bring
Surely,
it on?
this is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai do nothing, but He revealeth His secret unto His servants the prophets.
So this secret that is obviously something that is not known to these other nations, or known to those that when their ears have been seared, they have no ears to hear, right? The eyes, but they can't see, so they wouldn't be able to behold and understand these secrets that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is revealing unto His servants, who are the prophets. So we understanding these secrets to know that the secret of no free will is here for us to understand. Therefore, we are bringing out a little understanding from it, a little edification with the understanding, so that some younger brothers or younger Akwat that coming in will be able to know and gravitate to understanding the truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai when it comes to free will.
We like to go to John chapter 12, verses 49 and 50 to start.
49 to 50?
49 to 50. And it states, John chapter 12, verses 49 to 50, For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment, what I should say, and what I should speak. And I know that His commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak. So this is Yahushai, the Messiah sent from the Father Yahweh. Clearly stating here that every word that He speaks, every word that come out His mouth, every prophecy that He gave us, it wasn't off of His own free will. It wasn't off of what He wanted to say, but what His Father sent Him to say.
So we could back that up with the Mark chapter 14 and verse 32. You have it?
Yeah, Mark chapter 14 and verse 32. And they came to a place which was named Gethsemane, and He said to His disciples, Sit ye here while I pray. And He taketh with Him Peter and James and John, and began to be sore amazed and to be very heavy, and said unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here and watch. And He went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that.
So I just want to touch on this here. So what going on here is we breaking down that Yahushai took Peter, James, and John with Him, and He explaining to them that He's sad. He realized that the death coming. He come to die. So he real sad, he worrying about it, he concerned, he say all the wait here with me now. And he walk a little way forward and he leave them. And he fall on the ground and he started to pray. And the hour, the night, the hour might pass from him. Right? So what he trying to say is that this, he don't want to experience this, he want to go past this thing, this time that he know he coming to experience here. Right? Because what this time going to experience here is the death, he know the death coming up on him. So basically what that breaking down is that Yahweh Shai himself, he became sorrowful and would have preferred to not die and not go through all this pain and sorrow and experience. But in 36 here, go ahead.
Right, and I could finish 35. And he went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that, if it were possible, the hour might pass on him. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. So this here basically explaining that even and I said that I last
Yeah, the 36, bring on 36.
right. So basically what going on here is that he basically understanding that the time coming for you to face the affliction and that was appointed unto him to face. But he knowing the pain that he going to suffer, he calling unto his father, he begging, he praying, he asking, Father, I don't have another way, but it has nothing else we could do, and it have no other way, I have to go through all of this. But he said, even though he knowing what coming to happen, what going to happen to him, right? He said, nevertheless, not what I will, not what I want to know, let your will be done. So even if the Son of Man himself, the begotten Son of the Most High, don't have free will to say, you know what, I gonna avoid this affliction, I not going through all of this. If he can't watch his father and say, nevertheless, don't study what I want, do what it is you want, what make anybody think that they could say that them have free will?
I just like to add, because what that pointing out is not just that Yahweh was actually tell the father, well, go ahead and do what you want to do because it's for you to do anyway. He didn't have a decision in it. What he did, he was humbly asking, he was crying, he don't realize the the fullness of what he had to experience come upon him. And he was like, hey, I really want to do this, boy. The man started crying thing, The man crying thing.
Crying to your father.
And he said, Father, boy, he said, no, I will know. What he do, he come to a realization. He realized and he confirmed within himself and to those around to witness, and not just those around, but the
prophets.
Right, Peter, James, and John, because they would have been witnessing what was going on, right? He confirmed to the reader, to those witnessing, right? To the father that, hey, he had no say in this. He just had to submit to the will of Yahweh Basham. Yahweh. Salakia. So this will take us to go over to
Mark chapter 3.
Mark chapter 3.
Mark chapter 3 and verse 14. And he ordained 12 that they should be with him, and that he might send them forth to preach, and to have power to heal sicknesses and to cast out devils. The point being in 14. Now we want to go into that word ordain in the blue letter Bible.
In the blue letter?
Now ordain says to make. The point right here, he made them his 12 disciples. So they didn't have a choice in whether or not them was going to follow Yahweh Shai and become the 12 apostles under him, who he would send forth to preach and teach and give the word and give the will of Yahweh out to the world. He made them do it. They didn't have a choice in it.
I'd like to add, Baba Kisha. This is the same Mark chapter 3 and verse 14, and it says in the easy English, it says he chose a group of men, of 12 men. He called them apostles. He wanted them to be with him, and he would send them to teach. Notice it's saying he chose, he called, he wanted, and he would. It is all about his choosing, all about who he calls, all about what he wants, and all about what he would have been done, or who he would send. It have nothing to do with what we want, or what we could do, or who we call, or who we want to be called, or if we want to be called. It have nothing to do with our will, but it's the will of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. We can look. Well, we don't need to look at any other more translation, because all of them saying appointed and ordained, right? But the choosing, the ordination, the appointing, it's showing that it have nothing to do with what anybody or any of those individuals did, but it had to do with the specific will and good pleasure of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Okay? Which takes us to, if I may, I'd like to add with Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4 to verse 5, right? So in going into there, this is I think this is part of the meat of this understanding that we try to bring out here, right? This is one of the precepts that would help bring it in, right? According, that is Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 4, it says, according as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. Now he had ordained, appointed, or chosen. You realizing just that last breakdown, the ordained was also translated in a different in a different translation, was translated to mean or appointed, or to choose as well. So when we see choose here now, right, he had chosen, it's the same thing as elect, right, as appointed, right, or ordained, right? So that choosing in him before the foundation. So it was a pre-choosing, it was a pre-ordination, it was a pre-election before the foundations of the world, before the world was actually being set up to build. The Most High had chosen us. That goes into a whole different topic, right? Because it gets to understanding that we were there to be picked out. We were there to have to be chosen and selected and ordained and set apart for this particular option that he had us for, right? So that means we were there before. Aforetime, before time, the scripture talks about, right? And I'm saying we as in Adawan Ratazad, that's speaking about the elect. Salakia Tawadaya Wabasham Yoshai, for helping me to understand that. I need to clarify that. Right? Before the foundations of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him, having, verse 5 says, having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Yahushai HaMashiach himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. So we looking to see what
we're gonna go into this term here, predestinated, and the definition: to predetermine, decide beforehand.
So then what that's saying there, so the fact that he predetermined or decided before time that we would be adopted unto Yahushai, and that adoption, speaking about first the falling away had to happen, right? And then we would come back onto Yahushai. For then when Yahushai, remember we were speaking with a lady earlier on, and the lady talking about, where he said that it was speaking about those Gentiles, right? Those Gentiles that were not of the fold, that were not of Israel, right? And that was speaking about those that fell away, that came into this Gentilic state, those that were Hellenized, right? Yasharala, because the Apostle Paul said, not all of Israel is of Israel. So this here gets us to understand that those that were in that Hellenistic state or Gentilic state would be able to come back on to the Father, or come back into the fold of the Father by having been readopted. He already understood, he already set it up that we would have to fall away first and come back. But all of this, it brings us to understand that the Father had been in control of all things that encompass the life of the Israelites and what they experienced. Can?
Can.
Which ties into the free will that we're talking about. It have no free will. We didn't have a choice in this. We didn't have a choice in falling away. We didn't have a choice in being made the chosen people. We didn't have no choice in being the chosen people. Not the chosen among the people. The chosen people. Because Israel is the chosen people in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6, right? He set us apart unto him. We are chosen people unto himself. We don't have a choice there. We didn't have a choice. He made us to be this particular way. He decided on his own to go out and do something. And when he made us to be a part of that something, we just had to function.
Alright, and we go in now. Next point.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 41. Then waiting for the brother to pull it.
Go ahead. That's second Exodus chapter 2 and verse 41. You can.
The number of thy and that's what the brother was talking about earlier. Let's expound upon it. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. So the children he was waiting for the whole time has been fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord that thy people which have been called from the beginning, before everything was ever established, the earth and everything, before all of that was established, may be hallowed. And we're going into this word hallowed, it means to be
Holy, set apart, separate,
sanctified, all of those things. So they separate these people who were chosen from the very beginning. No matter what happened, these people will always be with the Lord. As spoken of in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 13, in one of the previous videos we was doing, it said the angel told Daniel, no matter what you will be in the lot you was in from the very beginning. So it don't matter what you do, you always going to be a chosen one if you was a chosen one. And the one that is that we are of the elect.
Then I'd like to go to Romans chapter 1, verse 28. Because we're not only speaking about the chosen of the chosen, we're speaking about the one-thirds and the two-thirds. This would tie into the two-thirds, because not only do we not have choice in being elect or being righteous, the unrighteous and the wicked in the world, they have no choice but to be wicked. As it spoken about here in Romans chapter 1 and verse 28, even as they did not like to retain power in their knowledge, power gave them over to a reprobate mind to do things which are not convenient. So when you see people out there doing unrighteousness, wickedness, evilness, know that is Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai doing it. They have no choice but to do it. As it's spoken of in Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39, I, even I, am He, and there is none other beside me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, and there's none that can be taken out of my hand. So all the wickedness, all the righteousness is seen in the world is the will of Yahweh to do so. Nobody has no choice in that. And I like to back that up in Romans 11 and chapter 7 verses Romans chapter 11 verse 7 to 8. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, power had given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. So, even when we preaching this word of truth, even when we preaching the gospel, even when people sit down and we preach to them and they're not hearing what we're saying, they don't believe what we're saying, and the ones that do believe what we're saying, they had no choice but to do so. Yeah, we close and lock off all the minds. Seal all the minds. Nice word to use it. He seal all the minds that he don't want to have this information, and he pour out all the knowledge he wanted onto the ones who were predestined.
Predestined, Salak.
Predestined. To have this information.
That's the word you went into earlier, predestined. predestinated.
As we started off this lesson in Amos 3 and 7, he gave his secrets unto the prophets, and we had no will but to obtain.
Can the thing is, I always like to run over to this precept, right? Because I think if it's okay, we could close after this one, right?
You can close this one.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 4, because what we're doing here is bringing out the truth of the secrets of Yahweh Basham Yahushai based on what we understand in small parts about free will. And when you come to understand free will and knowing that some were made for this, some were made for that, some were set this way and some were set that way, this scripture brings a joy to us. It says, O Israel, Baruch chapter 1 verse 4, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, for the memorial of Yasharallah. So hey, be of good cheer, be happy, rejoice, because we come to know the truth of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. We have no free will, we have no decision in this, but what we know, what we come to know is that we are of Yasharallah, the chosen people of the Lord, and He has set us quite on the contrary to anybody's thoughts or ideas about whether they have free will in this, whether they have a choice in it. We don't have a choice in it, but we are thankful. We need to be thankful and give all praises, all glory, and all honor to tell Yahweh Basham Yahushai for having chosen us and predestined us unto this salvation that He has set for us. We don't have no say in it. Even if you think you had to get up one morning and choose to accept Yahweh Basham Yahushai, no, you're wrong. Yahweh done seal you to that already. Everybody done seal to a particular destiny in Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Either it is you're on his good side or you're on the bad side, so to speak. Can?
Well, either his secret was revealed unto you, or you were given over to a reprobate mind. With that, we'd like to close. As always, we give all glory, all honor, all praise unto Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Rukakodash.
Giving double honors to the apostles and elders, the men of GMS that surely do you well. To the 144,000 out there, we say shalom. To the Akim out there by the highways and byways, pushing this doctrine in sincerity and in truth, we say shalom. To the Akwat out there, sitting and learning and listening in silence, we say shalom to you, sisters, to you, Akwat. This is Brother Kawalwa.
This is Brother Israel. This is Brother Maya Shala.
This brother Hananiah.
Saying
Shalom.
Shalom.